Really enjoyed your Hall of Fame speech, and I've seen your speech, and I've seen quotes afterwards where you really gave credit to Brock Lesnar for a lot of the success of your recent comeback. What did you mean by that?
Well, if Brock didn't see uh, in myself a viable competitor, I never would have come back. I never would have had the opportunity to come back. So let's be honest, my first tenure with the WWE wasn't a glorious success. And my exodus from the company wasn't the most positive to date. 12 years pass, nothing happens. Then lo and behold, the beast needs somebody to kill. So I'm fortunate enough that I always keep myself in good shape, and it was an option, and he fought for it, and I just Brock means the world to me. He means the world to my family. Beyond the wrestling business, he's a guy that's made a huge difference in how my son looks at me. And for something like that, I will never be able to repay him. It doesn't mean that I won't kick his ass if I ever get in the ring with him again. But it does mean that I have the respect for him that can never be diminished.
So I love to hear that. I'm a big Brock guy. We get a lot of top superstars on our CBS Sports podcast, and we ask them about working with Brock, about planning a match, and you get a lot of, he's hard to work with. I feel like I'm preparing for a real fight because I never know what he's going to do next. And I don't know if I'm being worked or not. If I am, I'm openly okay with that. But you seem to have a different special relationship with him where planning that string of matches you had was easy, it sounds like.
He's a monster, right? And there's a way to book a monster, and I'm a monster, though I be a little bit older than him. And it's based on logic. It's based on violence, and it's not based on length. And once you understand that the two characters are quite similar, it's quite easy to book a program together, unbeknownst to everyone as to what happened back in 2003, 2004, because that wasn't handled properly. But I love working with Brock. I love working with Scott Steiner. I love working with guys who are real. It provides a much more entertaining scenario in my eyes than anything else out there. Am I right? Am I wrong? Well, it doesn't matter. It's my opinion.
Loved how humble your Hall of Fame speech was. Loved the shout out you gave to Steve Austin. And, you mentioned the similar looks you guys had during the peak of the Attitude Era. And I think a lot of fans are curious, what type of interaction did the two of you have back then, either during the late 90s or when you did come into WWE in 2003?
Well, we didn't have any interaction prior to me coming in there. I didn't know Steve. I wasn't afforded the opportunity to work with him earlier in his career. I saw him work from afar. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I never copied a damn thing from Steve Austin, but I did see how a character can be so grandiose, so all-encompassing, and so successful that I took cues from his rise to better help me in my preparation for my hopeful rise. And in the speech, I gave credit to a number of people who lended, one thing or another to the formation of Goldberg as a character. And, whether it was, like I said, just a look from the Road Warriors, or whether it was, the sticking the tongue out from Hawk. There were a lot of people that had a lot to do with my success, but it doesn't mean that I copied them in any way, shape, or form. I pretty much, like I said, I watched from afar and watched and took notes on what to do and what not to do. And he was a very positive influence in my career, watching from afar. It wasn't a hands-on approach, but then when I did get to the WWE and he and I hooked up, it was nothing but respect. And I greatly appreciated that coming from him, such a successful person and character and such a good guy deep down inside. And I appreciated that to the utmost degree. And since we became friends years and years ago, man, I probably there's no question, I keep in contact with him more so than anybody in the business.